Okay. Hi everybody. Yeah. So I just conducted my soccer passing. Yeah. So it was like meant to help in creating space and assist in maintaining possession. Yeah. So the activities that we did, mainly the first game and Q&A, right? We're focusing on today. The first game, we played 3v3, maintaining possession and scoring like a 3v3 match. Yeah, so the purpose of that, using a restricted court area, is to ensure that participants get to experience passing more, also because it's very hard to dribble in such a small space. Yeah, so by passing to each other, it also emphasizes on creating space because your teammate has to run into the open space, get away from defenders. Yeah, so for game one, I think some feedback for myself would be that probably the design of it was a bit too congested because it is a 3v3, like even though it's emphasizing on passing, I think that it's still a very restricted court area, so probably you can adjust that. Then other than that, personally I think that using a goalpost and a target, like a target to a goal, yeah, so it's easier because there's a specific location where players have to score towards, rather than like reaching an end zone, which is like probably a larger area they can go towards. Yeah. So I think the goalpost was a good addition. Yeah. So do you have any like feedback?
Alright, I can go first. Okay. So I think more feedback is regarding the execution of the Q&A. So I think the Q&A was in between satisfactory and good. I think when you ask the questions, people were able to come to I think half of the answer. Like they mentioned maintaining possession and passing the ball, and then after that you didn't really give more guiding questions to ask them to uncover or to dig deeper into what the answer really is, because we gave half of it, and then I think it was good. You got the people to understand and think about it, but the end answer that you gave us was also more in-depth, more complicated than what we had thought. But I think overall, the main improvement would be to ask more questions instead of giving the answer too early.
Yeah, do you have anything to share? Either game one or Q&A. Especially like Tayshawn and Daylan, since you were you were filming. Since Tayshawn, you were in the coaching session.
Okay, so for game one, I personally feel like it was actually quite good. I would say between good and excellent, because the idea that you were trying to bring forth was to maintain possession, all that stuff, right? And the idea of making the space smaller is a good idea because that lowers the amount of space that you have. But like you said, the only problem was it was a bit too small for 3v3, so maybe that's part of the plan. In terms of like how they link, right? I think it could link, it's really just the Q&A that they need to do. The game one, I think, is honestly completely fine.
Yeah.
For game one, I rate it as good because making the space corner is very effective. And the only thing, as you mentioned, is when the players run, when one player gets the ball, right, all of them are just cramped up together, so it's very hard for them to actually make a pass. If they move into open space, also everyone is not. There's not much open space. Maybe slightly wider. Then for coaching practice, the Q&A, the questions were asked quite well. Just that you were on the right track at the start. Then after that, midpoint, over-explain what your understanding of was, and inputted additional stuff. Then accidentally saying
Okay. Dylan, do you have anything?
I want to say something I forget. Something on game one. I think this is for the planning of game one itself. So I think the structure of the game itself is good in the sense that you reduce the amount of players to like shape the play of the game lah. And then you also implemented the passing rules for game 2, right?
Yeah, passing game also.
The passing rule, it's a good thing that you did not include that. So the participants like not sure what to do yet lah. So it isn't obvious what the actual like objective of the day is lah. So
I only see like one problem wise, right, is that I think as like either Bishop mentioned or the space wise, right, I think it can get a bit hectic at times lah. You can see even when they ask like, okay, I know this is game 2 lah, but it's a bit irrelevant to like the game 1 lah, but whenever like they ask for passes that time, right, they are actually doing the right thing as the non-ball movement, like non-ball carrier, they run out. But then because the space is so small, there's only so much space they can like cover before the defense just turn around and just kick the ball out. But yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind.
So thank you very much for sharing. So basically to summarize, it's basically just game 1, the space constraint, and for Q&A section, the questioning part should be more in depth to ask them more questions rather than suggesting and telling them. Is there anything else you want to add?
Didn't you say like they didn't know about the statistics for the second one, like the new rules because they introduced the.
I see it's a good thing.
Could it be if you add that in game 1, right? Then it helps them to explore the.
I think that's kind of under shaping tail also lah. Because you specifically adjust the rules so that it emphasizes more.
That's why for me I think the game 1 is supposed to let them experience first. Then after that you exaggerate more in the game 2. To find a tactical problem first.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you want to add? Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. That is all for Willis Kwan CoP.
Hey!